We have Branko Windoe, who is the head of treasury at Bank Central Asia. This is Indonesia's biggest bank, and he joins us this morning to talk about his picks from Jakarta. Happy Year of the Tiger to you, Branko. Gong hei fa choi, as they say here in Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. Let's talk about Indonesia, because it's interesting that last year it was one of the world's best performing stock markets. I think it was actually the best Asia-Pac performing stock market in U.S. dollar terms. And people are pretty optimistic about the country's currency, also bonds. What's the outlook this year in 2010? Is it still a positive one?
Yes, hi Susan. Basically, Rupiah is still expected to perform well. And the main reason for that is because the fundamentals of the country itself is very, very good. The macro perspective of investing in Indonesia is also good, and the trend is still going to be good for this year. And
okay, Branko, let me just jump in here because I need to point out what international investors see in Indonesia, because in the past it has been marred by political turmoil, right? Corruption, a big issue, debt, and also poor infrastructure issues. Do you think these have been resolved, and are they still significant at this point? What makes you so optimistic right now on Indonesia?
Yes, those issues are being resolved, but it won't take. It will take time. It will not happen overnight. However, the steps are being taken toward that direction to make it better. The reason why I'm so optimistic is because from the fundamentals, it's still very strong, and if we look at the growth of the country is also very good. Last year, among 3 countries that were growing were Indonesia, and it will continue to grow this year. So while there are still some problems, but it is being resolved, although it will happen overnight, but I think the steps are being taken toward that direction.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of investors, Branko, think that Indonesia will actually reach investment grade in just a few years from now, maybe 3 years or so. Do you think that's actually been priced into the market, that sort of optimism?
Yes, one of the reasons, yes. It is not fully priced, though. Otherwise, we wouldn't see interest rate levels at this high. And it will continue to improve as the country rating gets better and better.
And Branko, before we get a commercial break, we'll continue talking about the rupiah after this. But Branko, can you give me a broad outlook on the Indonesian markets and in terms of upside and gains for investors? If they invest now into stocks and bonds, what sort of returns can they see in 2010 in Indonesia, in your view?
Okay, the short-term return in Indonesia now being overnight is about 6.5%. 6.5% is one of the highest return probably in the world. And given the stability of the currency itself right now and projected to be, this return will continue to give investors comfort. Now, for bonds, it's also more or less the same story. 10 years bonds were at still very high on comparative value basis compared to other similar investments. And given the prospects in the future, that is in a few years get the rating upgraded, it will only enhance the return.
Okay.